Hello and welcome to FTB Sports. My name's Omondi Juma, and we've got a quick bulletin here with my special guests. Today I'm joined by Bubsy. Say hello, Bubs.
Hello, how are you then?
And down below me, I'm joined by the cop artist. How are you doing, sir?
Good evening. All doing well. Thank you very much.
Brilliant, brilliant. So we all got our team together as an emergency tonight because we want to talk about the breaking news, which is blowing up all over the radio, the TV. I'm sure you know about it. The Super League. And the Super League's come to an end, apparently. So what I've got so far, maybe the cop artist, you can help me out with this.
Yeah.
Chelsea and Manchester City have pulled out. Is that correct?
There's been nothing officially on paper saying that they're pulled out, but obviously through social media, through Sky Sports, it's saying that they are pulling out.
So that's a good thing. Yes.
I think it's just more the fact of paperwork to get through to say that we are officially pulling out as of now. But it certainly looks like this whole ESL is breaking down as we all hoped it would.
Yes. So, cop artists, what do you know about the Juventus chairman and the Man United vice chairman, Ed Woodward? Apparently, that's the other breaking news that they're resigning as well. Do you think that's connected?
Well, from what I understand, Ed Woodward is resigning as of the end of the season. Obviously, he still has a role to play for United. I think all these resignations, there were a lot of resignations from the ECA, from various chairmen.
Do you want to just the abbreviation for the ECA? Is that the European? What would that be? ECA?
I'm not sure. I can't remember what they said.
So all these clubs are tied into the ECA, and
it's the European. Let me have a look. It's the European. Oh, what does it say? European Club Association.
Okay, so the majority of these clubs are signed up to this, and they're withdrawing.
It looks like a lot of these teams that had signed up for this, like the likes of Real Madrid, Juventus, all those sort of the foreign teams. A lot of their sort of chairman or chief executives or whatever had basically resigned from the ECA, the European Club Association, to move across to the European Super League.
Okay.
To form part of the sort of the board.
Yes.
As vice chairman, things like that. I know John W. Henry, obviously our owner, was to be a vice chairman.
Yep.
And I believe
one of the Glazers as well.
Sorry?
One of the Glazers from Manchester United.
One of the Glazers was going to be the vice chairman as well. It just seemed to have so many vice chairmen.
Yeah.
But obviously, now that we hear now that Ed Woodward is stepping down from his role at Man United, and I do have some breaking rumor news.
Love to hear that.
That apparently, John Henry, our owner, is putting Liverpool Football Club up for sale.
How do you feel about it? Is that good news?
I'm happy about that because I don't want American owners. We had American owners once before with Hicks and Gillette, and they ruined the club. Yes, thankfully, FSG came in and rescued us from the brink of administration.
Right.
So yes, I thank them wholeheartedly for that. As a fan.
So you're on the market to be sold right now. Well, in the near future, Liverpool.
In the near future, it looks like obviously with the events that went on during the day, with meetings between the 14 clubs that weren't involved in this. They had a meeting. They were all unconditional. They didn't want this. They didn't want this to happen, so they were all together on that. It was only the 6 teams that were involved, and 2 of those teams weren't really sure that they really wanted to be involved, which were Chelsea and Man City.
Yes.
And they were sort of more going with the flow.
Right.
But what I did hear this morning through Sky Sports was that one of the chief executives of one of the 6 involved
Yep.
phoned one of the chief executives of the 14 that weren't involved prior to the meeting that they had to speak to them about this whole ESL thing, the whole Super League, and saying that they wanted to have talks with the Premier League, and that they felt that they'd been left out, and unequivocally, the 14 turned around and said, "We don't want to know. We're not going to help you. You've done this on your own back. You deal with it."
Okay. Thank you.
So that was the bit that's all breaking news. But
let me move on to Bubs quickly. You settled down now, Bubs?
Yeah, no, service ain't that great at the moment. Obviously, I went through.
How's the service now?
Yeah,
so Bubs, obviously this is all like new developments to us. Just 2 questions for you. You've been listening to what Cop Artist's been saying?
Yeah,
quick summary.
He sounds very knowledgeable. He picked up a lot of stuff from what he's obviously heard or heard from others or
Bubs,
social media or whatever. But yeah.
So Bubs, being a Man United supporter, you love the club. What are your thoughts on all this and about Man United being associated with the Super League? And what are your thoughts on Ed Woodward being announcing his resignation today?
I look at it this way: is based on what's going to be in the Super League is what's based in the Champions League. Really, let's be honest. All the big teams are in the Champions League. So why do you need to have a league or Super League and come away from what it sounds like the Premiership, the traditional English football or FA Cup or whatever circumstance it's going to be? And it upsets me because I don't think this Super League, I've heard about this about 5 years ago, 6 years ago. There was always talks about it. And it didn't happen then. And I don't think teams like Man United, Man City, Chelsea, Tottenham, Arsenal and Liverpool who are involved with it really, really need it. They don't need it. We don't need it. We're better off trying to, it's not like we're conquering our Premier League, our English league. We're not. Let's be honest, we're not. So why would we want to come away from the Premiership? It's not like it's based on it's too easy, where we're winning everything in the Premiership. So we think, well, we'd rather play against teams like Barcelona and Real Madrid and so on. For me, I think it's just nonsense conversation. I just think it's just a ridiculous thing, and I just don't think it should happen. And with hearing about Edward, for me, it's a great news for the club. Okay. Great news. I'll tell you why. Because since he's been involved, he's been so hands-on and he's ruined the club into a certain degree. And I think now we've got a sport director who's actually could be looking into the transfer marketing and certain things. I think with Edward, it's about money. And I'm not really feeling him, never did. And I'm glad if he resigned and it's true and it's actually something what's going to be real. Because I heard it, I think Sky News, they even mentioned it. Mm-hmm. So I hope it is true. Because all I'm caring about is Man United. I don't care if Tottenham want to do it or Arsenal want to do it or Man City. Mm-hmm. That's not my prerogative. And from what we all heard, City and Chelsea have confirmed they declined it. So I've not heard any information about Man United, but hopefully they would actually decline it because it's not way forward. It's the same thing as Champions League. It's not like it's a world tournament where everyone's playing against the best teams in the world. Like you got teams like in Brazil, Argentina, or Italy and Spain, and they do a league what's 21 teams out of all these top countries. It's not that. It's a European Super League. So isn't that the same as the Championship? Champions League. Isn't that the same? If you're good enough for the Champions League, you play against each other. You might not play against each other in this first stage, no, because you get
didn't Florentino Perez come out and say the pros for this is that football will be more exciting saying football, you're getting higher level teams playing against each other all the time. Not that I agree with this. Is that right? Is that what he said? To endorse
that's what he said. That's what he said. But what he said is nonsense, because at the end of the day, these big teams play against each other if they're good enough to go through the qualifications in Champions League. Simple as that, or UEFA, or Europa, or whatever you want to call it. I don't think you should leave your domestic league just because you want to play Real Madrid or Barcelona.
I don't. Can I just spit? I'm still like I'm winging it here. I'm not too sure on the information, but I'm sure it was a case that they wouldn't be leaving the domestic leagues. No. It's just that they would get kicked out of the domestic league. Apparently,
that's right.
There's a legal.
So that answers
legally.
The same question. So
hold on. So apparently, legally, if you they went ahead and done this, they would have got kicked out of the Premiership.
But then isn't that the same thing, isn't it? Either way, whatever you want to call it, it's still not being a domestic league, because you would lose out in Champions League, you would lose out.
But that wasn't the intention, though, was it, for them to get kicked out of the Champions League?
No, the intention was to stay in the league at the same time.
Right. Yeah, that's what they want, but it wouldn't happen, because we all been told recently, Man United, Chelsea, Real Madrid, and Man City could be kicked out of Champions League because of this thing.
Guys, can I swerve this somewhere else now? I wanted to ask you guys, you're both passionate supporters. Cop artists, you love your Liverpool. Bubs, you love your Manchester United. Now, if this was to go ahead, can I just ask you, like, in 30 seconds or a minute, what each guy, just tell me, if this was to go ahead, because I hear a lot of fans going out there saying, I'm a Liverpool fan, I'm going to go support Everton now. And Man United fans saying, that's it, I'm off now. I'm going to support my local club, which is Brentford. We're in London or whatever, you know? But how do you feel about that, Cop artist? Would you have, if this would have gone ahead, would you have left the club and supported someone else?
No. My heart and soul lies with my club, but my heart and soul lies with the players, the manager, and the actual club itself, not the owners. See, this is the big difference. You see, there's a lot of people out there saying, you know, the club or the team should be punished. Okay, that's wrong. In my eyes, that's wrong, because it's not down to the players, it's not down to the manager. We all know that Klopp's come out and said that he's against it. Jordan Henderson tonight has spoken, saying that they don't want it, we don't need it. We're unconditional to support the team and the fans. The fans don't want it. It's only the owners, and all it boils down to is greed. It's all about money. How many zeros they can put in their bank balance.
So what do you say to the guys who are saying they're going to rebel and go into support another team now?
Well, then to me, they're not true fans.
Okay. That's true.
Can I throw that to you, Bubs? How do you feel about that?
Well, basically, it's Man United. I can only speak Man United and teams like Liverpool. Let's be honest, are football clubs. It's run by fans. It's a fan club. It's a home club, and if they don't agree with it, and I totally understand where every fan's coming from, it is nonsense. It don't deserve to be. It doesn't deserve to happen. I actually don't believe in it, and I don't want it to happen, and I hope it doesn't. And what basically FIFA and UEFA have said is based on where they would kick the clubs out of this. So why would we want to take a risk of losing that just to be in a Super League? When for me, I think it just doesn't make sense. I don't want it to happen.
So, Babs, my question to you is: Cop artist is saying he's a Liverpool's. It is his heart. He wouldn't have left them. Would you have left Manchester United?
No, of course not. Of course not. Okay. Because I know it's not based on that. It's not the players. It's not the fans, is it?
Guys, do you want to help me out? We've got a few comments coming in. I'm going to read them out, and if you want to speak on it, just shout in.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's have a look. Okay. So, sorry about this. I'm new to this. I'm an amateur. Cool. So, born to create art. One of your boys there?
One of mine. Yeah, one of mine.
Good evening. How you doing, sir? Thanks for tuning in.
He's a Man City fan.
Well, maybe not. We're Man United. So,
yeah, he's gone. He's gone.
Okay, Solo 7. Our resident host. He says, now Glazer's out. Is that a chant, or is that what's happening?
Well, that rumor I said about John W. Henry potentially putting Liverpool up for sale.
Yep.
I heard something similar, and again, don't shoot the messenger. It's only something I heard. That Man United are going to be put up for sale as well.
Interesting. Thanks for the update, guys.
It's funny you say that. I heard exactly the same thing about that about 6 months ago. The Glazers are going to be selling out, and then they didn't. But then I heard that from a resource of a football agent who's like family to me, who works for Michael Carrick's agent as a football. Yeah,
you're giving it away.
I don't want to go. Yeah, but I'm just being honest. And
don't name names. Yeah, but
and it came from that resource. I didn't actually say the name of my cousin.
I know, but someone's gonna be googling right now.
Well, it's a good bet.
So next question.
I had that.
Born to Create says, How's everyone? I'm fine.
Yeah, we're all good.
All good.
Breeze the Gunny Page, one of our family members, says, good evening, guys. Good evening.
Good evening.
From Jason. Say hello to Jason, guys. He says, City have just confirmed via club statement which they are withdrawing from it. That they are withdrawing as well.
I expected that. That was pretty much nailed on, because I don't think they wanted to be in it in the first place.
Why do you think that? Because they've got money, they can generate.
Look, at the end of the day, this is all about money. This is all about how much money they can make, the clubs or the owners can make from doing this. Right. £250 million per year share of the money that JP Morgan are putting up to set this all up, and obviously with sponsorship and everything else. There are teams there like Real Madrid who are in debt. So that would benefit them.
Yeah,
but I think some of this timing is
Barcelona.
Yeah, and Barcelona. Yeah, some of these the timing of this coming out, from my understanding, overlaps this whole UEFA thing about reforming the Champions League system.
That's right.
Okay, from what I understand, they're going to up it to 36 teams instead of 32.
Yes.
And potentially do a league system.
Mm-hmm.
How many
instead of the groups.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
No, again, I don't. This is only what I've been hearing through the grapevine. And then certain people, certain amount of teams, then at the end of that sort of league, would end up going into, I guess, knockout stage. Maybe, I don't know. So have they brought this out? Have they brought this out to overlap that and to stop that happening? I don't know, but it's certainly a timing situation.
Yes, for sure. So just want to shout out to FTB Sports. If you're enjoying this content, please like, share, and subscribe, please. Hit your button.
He's fallen over.
You're right there, Bucks.
He's drunk.
No.
All right, I've got a question from Breezy Gunner Page, says smash the like button. Yep. Born to Create Art says brilliant that City pulled out of the ESL. Fantastic news. Pyro Destiny says evening all. Good evening, Pyro Destiny.
Good evening, Pyro.
Good evening. Enjoy.
And here's our resident Stoney. He says good evening, gents. Good evening, Stoney. How you doing, man? He says the ESL was all about money. Owners had little regard for history, culture, and heritage of English clubs and football.
Yeah.
So it's a slap in the face to them.
Yeah, exactly. Stoney, as usual, is spot on. That's all it ever was about. And like I said earlier on, it's greed. That's all it is.
Do you think they underestimated the fans and the passion here?
Yeah, without a doubt, they underestimated the fans. But I don't. It's like the owners, the American owners. They don't understand the English way of doing things. They don't understand the passion that the fans have for their clubs.
Yeah.
My club, United, whoever. My team are Man United. Out of all of them, out of all of the six, are the fans that are the most passionate about their club.
Yeah,
you can see that week in, week out, outside the ground and inside the ground, obviously when they were allowed in. So yes, it was a massive underestimation about the impact that it would have on the fans and the effect that it would have on them and what they would do about it. Because we all stand up together in situations like this. We may be rivals on the pitch, okay, and sometimes we may be rivals in a pub talking about our team, and we back our team to the hill no matter what. But I've on sort of some of my lives that I do online, I've had Man United fans, I've had Man City fans, I've had Spurs fans come in and say, we know you're a Liverpool fan, but we're totally behind you. We totally agree with everything that you say. And the fans have spoken. The other teams have spoken. The captains have spoken. The managers have spoken. It's dead in the water as far as I'm concerned.
So to both of you guys, another question I wanted to add towards the end of the show, but maybe we could drop it now quickly, is about with this sort of fan power, and we're seeing the demonstration tonight of what the fan power can actually do. Do you think there's other areas of football we should target right now to improve the game? Do you think there's things we should, like, for example, racism, for example, the ticket prices, for example, the TV deals, the wages? Do you think this is a good opportunity now that we flex our fan money, fan muscle? Sorry.
Yeah. As far as I'm concerned, and I don't want to jump a gun here because it seems like I'm speaking on behalf of sort of everybody, but there are a lot of things, pretty much everything that you've specified. Things like ticket pricing is getting out of hand, merchandising. This year for us alone, our shirt prices have gone up by £20.
£20.
Yeah, £20 per shirt. They've gone from sort of 50, 55 quid up to sort of 70 odd quid.
I've got a mate in Thailand.
I think they're trying to make a lot of money over the COVID as well. Let's be honest, because
yes, cool.
For the loss.
That's why I think this Super League thing's come involved because of the COVID thing. I think a lot of it's all. Who knows it's true or not? Let's be honest. It's all discussions. It's all potential. We're going to do this and do that, but it can't happen. It can't happen. Man United, Chelsea, Liverpool, Tottenham, and Man City, and so on. Leave. The terms of was based on to leave the Premiership. That's what I knew. It was based on to play in the Super League, to take the season out and coming out of the Premiership, lose out in the FA Cup, lose out of Europe. So that's the reason why the FIFA and UEFA have been so strong on saying they could ban us from the Champions League and stuff. So then they're saying Paris Saint-Germain would win the Champions League, Villarreal or whoever's the other final, Roma, would be in the final in the Europa. Yeah. A lot of it, I think it's a conversation. I think it's a lot of big hype.
So do you think they were trying to take advantage of the vulnerable position?
Yeah, they're looking at it and thinking a lot of clubs need to make money because they lost out.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is just being all, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. But who is the person saying it's actually happening?
Well, didn't we have politicians like Boris Johnson speak out about this today? I think that speaks volumes.
He spoke out about it the other day about the amount of money the players are getting. If you would have noticed that. He was in the football context the other day.
So the whole football's obviously a big business.
He was talking about managers getting sacked and getting a payout, where he was even talking about literally not saying the word, but Mourinho, £70 million in the last 3-4 clubs for being sacked.
And then, so this is what I was saying. So isn't this the opportunity now, while we've got our foot on their necks, to really sort of enforce these other things like the agents, payments, and all this kind of thing that's going. And also as well, one thing that I've always highlighted is about FIFA and the corruption. Sometimes in these third world countries, there's been money going to these third world countries being given to sort of officials, and it's not being filtered down. You don't see any results there,
That's always the same, though, isn't it? It's always that divide between the rich and the poor.
Yes.
In all walks of life, but certainly in sport sometimes, but certainly in football, And I've been arguing and sort of been talking about for a couple of years. Wage caps need to be put in place. Transfer fees need to be capped. Agents' fees need to be capped.
Yep.
All these things that impact a club's finances.
Sorry, can I interrupt you there, Cop?
Sorry?
Can I interrupt you there? Sorry.
Yeah.
Isn't that what happens in America right now with
Yes, it is. Yeah.
with wage caps and things like that?
Yeah.
So I think overall it should be capped, because I actually think it should be a point now where you see so many football players being at one club, like he's done 3 moves in space of 3 years. Some players, out there. I think if you sign a contract, you should be able to be in a contract for the contract you agree. So maybe if you make the contract 2 years instead of 4 years or 5 years.
Okay.
So what you do is give a contract for 2 years, and you provisionally saying it's going to be 4 years, but we're going to renew it for both parties. How well you do, if we're going to sell you, or if you don't want to be at the club.
Performance-based. Like a performance-based contract, is it?
Yeah, I think it should be that, because it's ridiculous. You know, even you can buy a player the other day. All these people going out and buying their shirts. As Matey was saying, people going out and buying Liverpool tops and all these tops. And then you're buying the names of these names. And they're not even going to be at the club for long.
Yeah, I agree. There's the terms they're using. When they keep using the pyramid term, that's the structure where all the money's at the top. So
it doesn't build it down. But if you actually put it into context in life, okay, because football is part of life. Yeah. Okay.
It's part of my life.
Yeah. You've got to. Well, let's say you've got a player on 200 grand a week. Okay. Let's just say pull a figure out of the air.
That's
they're on 200 grand a week. They go and do their training. They go home. Yeah. They come back and do their training, and then they play a match. And then, then they go home. So the amount of hours that they work, because it's their work, okay, and the amount of time that they spend on the pitch, sometimes no minutes at all because they're on the bench or, they're not in the squad for whatever reason, they're still getting paid 200 grand a week.
And the rest,
right? Now, you put that into the context with a firefighter or a nurse.
Yeah.
And the amount of money that they get paid, firefighters for putting their lives on the line, soldiers for putting their lives on the line, nurses for having to deal with the COVID situation, and they're getting paid a pittance compared to that. These guys.
I agree.
I totally agree with you.
Yeah,
but you know why?
Sorry, guys. Let's get through some of these questions. They're coming through really hard and fast. So, Born to Create says, but pressure on them, knowing fans won't support it with gears. I can't follow that. I've lost my way with that. I don't know what that's relating to. Let's move on quickly. Or Breezy Page again says all the owners should sell their clubs as all they want is money.
Yeah.
Head nods. Stoney says that's correct, Amondi. The idea of ESL would be to play midweek and alongside the club's domestic leagues.
Yeah.
Okay, that's right. Thank you, Stoney. Mark Pickering, welcome. He says, so glad it's not going to happen.
We all are.
Ditto. Born to Create says both teams would be kicked out of the premierships.
That's what I said.
That's
what I said.
If it went ahead. Mark Pickering again says Liverpool can get back down to playing football. You never walk alone. They tried against Leeds the other day and struggled.
Yeah, no, he's one of mine. He's one of mine.
To be fair, they always have good games against Leeds, don't they? There was 4-3 the first game.
Here we go. Born to Create says, how much damage has this caused for the club with the effect of the Super League? That's putting it out there. Has it caused a lot of damage to clubs?
I wouldn't say it's caused damage to the club. I would say it's caused damage to the owner, because at the end of the day, this isn't about the club. Yeah. This is about the owners, okay, of each club.
Yeah.
Okay. So I hope that the fans still support their players, still support their manager, and still support the club itself, but not the owner.
To be honest to you, a lot of fans
clarified that. A lot of
a lot of fans are not stupid, so they're going to support their team, back them, and back their players. Especially when you got owners like what we have as Man United or even Liverpool. Some fans of Liverpool don't back their owners.
But
So
I think it's important. It's really important to because a lot of this stuff behind the scenes, the business side of things, a lot of people are not really aware of. I myself, I'm not business minded. I wouldn't really understand all this, so it's good to sort of talk this through, because for years I hear Glazers out, Woodward out, and I'm only focused on the football. Do you understand what I'm saying? So a lot of people don't really have that understanding, me included.
I'm exactly like you, because I never looked at the bigger picture, and but I always heard that. Even my brother, God rest his soul, he always mentioned, always mentioned about the bigger picture, and he realised football was going after Ferguson left and he passed away, where we had David Moyes, and he always started to click on and read into the club was starting to become a different way. It wasn't a football family club anymore.
Yeah,
like Liverpool, they you don't beat bigger fans than what Liverpool have. That when that Anfield roars, I've been there. When it roars, it roars.
That's very
and I'm not
special.
even a Liverpool fan. It is emotional.
But the fans are the currency. The fans are the currency out here, aren't they?
So why should something like Liverpool, Man United, or Newcastle, or Leeds, who are like big clubs in that way, meaning fans is passion. They should show loyalty. The owners should show loyalty to it. And think, well, you know what? We can't do certain things without having the fans base. Yeah. Because the fans are the ones who paying the players. Let's get it right.
Well, are they?
Fans.
Hold on. Sorry, hold on a minute. Are they paying the players? Because I look at it, I think it used to be done by the size. Man United always had the biggest stadium. So you think they'd be able to pay more based on the income of the fans? Hold on. Yeah. But isn't it to do with merchandise now and other sponsorships?
They still
other ways of generating money.
So think of the loss of every big club. It is the loss of having no fans.
Yeah, right? But this is my point. If it was about having fans and you have the biggest stadium, then there must be other means for them to generate money based on the club.
Of course, there's other ways to generate. There's other ways to generate.
So that must be
marketing. But you got to still think of the biggest amount of money. Let's be honest, we're coming from fans.
Okay, let's move on with the questions. Let's go on to questions. There's a few more coming in. Say hi to Nigel, everyone. Nigel Duncan, welcome.
Hi, Nigel. Hope you're all right.
He's at Liverpool. Sorry, at LUFC. Who's LUFC? Leeds United. Oh, sorry, is that Leeds United FC? Yeah. So glad this effing monstrosity is dead. Now I can get back to hating Man United and you guys for all the right reasons. Well done, everyone in football that stood up for football. I agree with that. Well said.
Yeah, definitely.
We've got Mr. B, my side man, Mr. B. How you doing, sir? He says difficult times for 6-something clubs. Can we see FIFA hitting them hard with sanctions? So Mr. B's a Man United supporter. He even wants Man United to be punished for this. And
but why?
You can't punish the club. You've got to punish the owner.
I'm glad you clarified this. What I'm saying. I agree with you.
I was exactly about to say that. Why punish the club?
So this is a lot of people getting emotions overflowing at the moment, aren't they? Adam Morris, our man Adam. Say hi to Adam, everyone. He says, I'm expecting to see massive punishment for this. Relegate them with huge point deductions. That will really hurt them financially. What do you think?
Okay, so what about the impact that has on the players and the manager who have had nothing to do with this whatsoever?
Yeah.
This is the problem that people, for some reason, don't seem to equate in their head. Yeah, all right, punish the clubs, relegate them. Knock points off them.
To be honest, it would be a thing they would possibly do, because I'm going to tell you why. I work in a company, for example, and if anything happens to the company, it gives everybody bad name. And even though we weren't part of it, the company's going to lose business, and you're going to be part of it. So the club will be affected, even though the players and the manager's not part of it, but they're representing Man United, the owners. And they're more powerful than anyone else.
But Babs, so your company, you're an employee. Are you accountable for something decisions that you're making a part of? would you be accountable for decisions that you're not a part
But
of?
I represent the company.
Okay.
Yeah, but you're not the one. What he's saying is
I'm
you're
not
not the
saying
one.
I'm not. Yeah, but at the end of the day, they don't work it that way. They play for Man United. They're Man United players. They're Man United manager. So anything what happens with the hierarchies will affect on the players and the management because they're part of Man United. And that's why I think it was all wrong. They're doing all this stuff behind people's backs, and no one knew or had any discussions. It's been discussed.
Can I ask you a question, guys? So, considering like people like Klopp has come out and sort of gone against his bosses, should he get sacked by his bosses?
No.
Why should he? No.
Because he said something contrary to what the bosses, the direction the club are going in. Do you see my point? He's
the manager.
Yeah, I know. But he's an employee of the boss. He's an employee. He's an employee. He's come out. Hold on. Let's speak one at a time, please, guys. So he's come out. He's come out and said something contrary to what the Super League is saying. So his club, his bosses are trying to go into the Super League, and he said something which is going the other direction. So should he get sacked based on that?
No, he shouldn't, because the direction was based on if he knew that, and they told him and spoke to him, and he had his opinion, because it was a shock, and he's heard about it through social media or the news or whatever. He's reacted a certain way where he's not agreeing with it with these players. So he's backing these players, and as well as being a manager, backing in what he thinks.
Yeah, but he's not backing his boss. He's not going with company policy, is he? The company policy says you have.
That's true.
It's just a hypothetical question. I'm just asking. What do you think?
No, you're spot on with the question. It's a very good question.
Shouldn't get sacked. Okay. Moving on. Last question says, this is from erectile dysfunction. Oh God! I've fallen for it. Damn it! Finally, they got me. All right, well done. I applaud you on that one. That's good. Fines won't make a difference with billionaires. What else do you expect? The only way you can hurt them is by playing. The only way you can hurt them is the playing side. They've broken rules. Face the consequences.
Right. Okay. So coming back on that. You're saying the only way you can hurt them is on the playing side of things because they broke the rules, so they have to face consequences. But the people that are on the playing side haven't broke anything. They haven't done anything wrong. They've just gone against what the owners are saying.
Okay.
So why should they be punished for something that is out of their control?
Agreed.
Spot on.
Agreed. I think this guy, erectile dysfunction, should be punished as well. For
definitely.
Me out like that.
Points deduction, relegated the lot.
Relegate the owners.
Guys, I feel that I've got a bit more insight into this today. Thanks for your comments, guys. Thanks for sharing everything, especially you, cop artists. You seem to know a lot about this. I don't know what you'd be doing with them. I'd be working all day. I'm a bit. I'm
sat in my little studio working, painting and sketching and stuff all day, every day. And I've got my little TV on with the Sky Sports News. See, that's what it is. So I get the information better to hear.
To be fair, I'll be honest. I've heard about it yesterday, and I really haven't put my all into the whole situation. All I know is that apparently we can be kicked out of this and that. But who knows if the owners have actually even agreed to any of all this? I don't know. Maybe I can ask someone else who might know.
Well, what we do know for facts is that fans have come out and they've put their foot down and there's been a reaction and a positive reaction.
Yeah, but
one of the worst things about this?
What's that then?
One of the worst things about this is the fact that not one of these 6 owners have faced the media and given the reasons why they did all this.
But have they done it? But the point I'm saying is, let's be honest. It's never agreed to say they have done it. So maybe we're jumping and assuming. We only hearing. Maybe they've spoken to them about the Super League, but they may not have agreed onto it.
But hold on, this Super League's been common knowledge for a long time now. It's been spoken.
Of course it has. I said
about the Juve chairman. He did come out Oh no, sorry. Perez came out and he did say the pros, the reasons why he was endorsing it by saying youths between 16 and 25 are not enjoying football. It's a lame excuse, but at least he said something. This is the only person I've heard say something about it.
It's probably based on the league as well. If like a league of Italian league, it's come on, you want to play against teams like Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, and
sorry, Bubs. I think sorry to interrupt you. I thought what he was trying to say is that you're getting these minor teams coming into the Champions League and they're not performing. What he's saying, what they want to see is like you get the NBA, you get these super teams now. LeBron is getting all his mates onto one team, and they're getting a team, and all these super teams are going head to head, and they're getting great ratings. And then when during the VAR, you could have an advert or something coming in. This is where they're looking to generate the money.
My point to that is they're not like they're running away with you winning things, are they?
I think that it's about entertainment. They're saying,
but they're not running away with things, are they? If they were winning it every year, then I could understand.
If who was winning it every year?
Juventus, whoever the owners.
I'm sorry, I was talking about it's the Real Madrid chairman.
Okay, Real Madrid could possibly make that assumption because they have won it 14 times, 13 times, maybe 14 times this year. So they probably could sit there and say it because they've been very good in Champions League. But any other team who's won it 3 or 4 or 2 or 5, you wouldn't make that assumption. Unless if it's too easy, every year you're winning it.
I think what he's trying to say is that for entertainment values to watch a game of football.
Well, hang on a minute. You look at the entertainment side of things. You're talking about sort of the let's say the lesser known teams in the Champions League.
Yes.
Take Leipzig. Okay.
Yeah.
Didn't they play one hell of a game to knock Man United out?
But they're a heavily invested football club.
Yeah, but they are not. They are a lower unknown team.
They're
in those groups.
They're only new.
And the entertainment factor was there.
Yeah, agreed.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you know, at the end of the day,
it's a lame excuse then.
Yeah. Of course, it's a lame excuse. I mean, you look at the FA Cup, and you get sort of minnow teams playing, Championship teams or Premier League teams, and they knock them out.
Yeah.
Where else do you see that? You won't see that in the Super League.
Yeah. Totally agree. So go on to another question or statement. He's saying the guy, we know who this is. He says, understand your point, and they haven't made this choice, but the owners need to be held accountable, and the fans should aim their frustration at them rather than punishments. Sorry for catching you out. It's okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can.
What information have we got to say the owners are in the wrong with this? Because I don't know. I've not heard the owners are all agreed to this. All these big clubs. I only heard the assumption was based on these teams are going to be in the Super League. I've not heard the owners have turned around and said they want to be in the Super League. So why are we so against the owners if we're not 100% sure?
Because it's the owners in control. It's the owners that are taking the clubs
we're not
away.
saying that.
Babs, listen to the answer. There's the answer there.
That's not the answer. That I'll be honest with you.
Summarize your question again then. Ask your question again.
My question is based on the Super League's been discussed on the premises of the teams they want to be in the Super League. But has any of the owners discussed it and said they want to be in it?
But that's my point. None of the owners have come out and faced the media to explain their side of things.
But they probably haven't done that.
They are too gutless.
They probably haven't done that because it's just not relevant for them. It doesn't mean anything. We don't know. I'm trying to look at it the other way. I'm trying to see.
No, I can appreciate you trying to look at it the other way. But they're the ones
always talking about the owners. We're talking about the owners, but
okay. So look at our owner, John W. Henry. Yeah. Okay. He's made a mint out of our club. He's brought our club. He's brought our club from the
Bubs, listen to the man.
Yeah.
He spent 300 odd million to get our club back on track.
And he won.
The club is now worth 4.1 billion.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's pocketed a lot of that through finances.
Yeah.
Okay. It's been announced that he was going to be one of the vice chairman of the ESL.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So he's got a big say in all of this.
Yeah.
Same as the Glazers. One of the Glazers was going to be one of the vice chairman.
Yeah.
So they have a massive say in all this.
No,
but they aren't saying anything. That's the problem.
Yeah. Do you know? I totally
get it now,
understand where you're
Bubs.
coming from. I know, of course, I get it. I'm not.
Let's deal with these questions. We've got a few more comments coming through. Adam says, "Hi, Adam. How you doing, man?" Says, "I'm a Chelsea fan, and I want Chelsea to get points deducted and the Champions League elimination." That's kind of harsh. Next one. Our best friend who stitched me up tonight. I'm gonna find out who you are. What's it? The take a thing. I'm gonna find you. It says pathetic to use the pandemic as an excuse as well. Clubs everywhere struggling to survive, whilst Real Madrid are building a £500 million stadium. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Are they building a new stadium?
Yeah, they are. They're not using the
new stadium. Wow.
Yeah. No, not new stadium. They're building on that stadium.
It's refurbishing, is it?
Building on it. They're building on it. I don't know if they're making it.
Our best mate again says the owners all put out statements on social media. There you go, Bubs. And last one's Joel Glazer's name was on the United statement. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to wind it down now because I know this has dragged on a bit for 45 minutes, but I'm glad for everyone who's tuned in. Thank you very much. Please subscribe and like to FTB Football Sports and tune into the Liverpool channel. What's the Liverpool show called? Cop? What's the Liverpool show called?
The FTB Sports Liverpool channel, isn't it?
FTB Sports Liverpool, FTB Sports Tottenham. We've got the Man United agenda as well. Studs up Monday nights, 8 o'clock. So please, just check out FTB. It's a lot of good people here, a lot of good things going on. And just tell your friends all about it. This has been a great discussion tonight. I really appreciate your input there, Bubs and Cop Artist. Love what you guys are doing. Like I say, I was just winging it tonight. I didn't really have a clue what was going on, but really.
Well, you did very well.
Thank you very much.
well, man. Thank you.
Thank you. And from the comments as well, thanks, guys, for commenting in and giving us more insight into what's going on. We've got another one here. I don't like you, but I'll take this one. Good show, lads. Thank you very much. I'm going to find you. Trust me.
You got too many people don't like you. You don't
I know.
If they knew you well, they know you're a lovely guy.
Well, thank you, Bubs. Thank you. Only you know.
You're a lovely guy. I know you, man. You're a good man.
So, on that note, I'm going to wind it down now. I'm sure you guys got things to do. Thanks for coming in and sharing this with us. Look forward to the rest of the season. Hopefully, we can have an end of season review, get together and have a good chat about this season. It's been really eventful, hasn't it? So much ups and downs. But once again, God bless everybody. Thank you again, and we're signing out. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.
Bye.